Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel that I hardly post to, and like only really when I feel like it. Today we're going to be talking about Zelda puzzles. They're not bad or anything, but I'm pretty bad at them, as you can see in the title of the video. So, when I was thinking about this, I remember trying to search if anyone else struggled with like Zelda puzzles or just a lot of game puzzles in general, and no one else did. I couldn't find anyone sitting down and complaining about puzzles, and I'm not here to complain about puzzles being difficult, like, oh, they need to be made easier. Like, the whole point of playing a game that has puzzles is to challenge yourself and solve the puzzles. Like, obviously, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's more about myself and how I'm so bad at them, and it just kind of takes away from the experience. But again, nothing against the game. That's just me being dumb at puzzles. Anyways, recently I played The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap on Nintendo Switch Online. I played it for the first time. It was a pretty good time, except the few times that I had to like look up guides to get through places. Well, more than a few times. See, because, getting stuck in a segment, I feel like is pretty common in video games, and, looking it up once or twice. Okay, cool. But when you look stuff up over like, I don't know, 5 times throughout a playthrough, it kind of just takes away from the experience because you just start to get frustrated. And I don't want to. I don't want to act like I couldn't get through something in 2 seconds. I'm like, okay, the puzzle's too hard, I'm gonna look it up. Like, it was straight up like it had gotten to like the 30-minute mark of like walking back and forth, even backtracking, and then I just couldn't get through. So I watched guides. You might think that I'm just bad at puzzles, but I've played other games that have puzzles. Maybe they're easy. That's really up to your judgment. I played Little Nightmares 2 a few years ago. I forgot how long ago. Anyways, that game had a lot of puzzles, and I only got stuck on like one puzzle at the end. It was a little more challenging. And yeah, I feel like I feel like, I don't know why my grammar is being weird, but I feel like I really enjoyed that game, honestly, even with having to like look it up once, because I'm like, it was a one-time thing. But when I have to look up things constantly, I'm gonna put it like into perspective. But the first time I played Super Metroid, I had never played a Metroid game. I was really lost. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know that you should like bomb a bunch of like areas to like open up secret passages and stuff. So I had to watch a guide, and I remember not really having that much fun playing it. Especially, I wasn't used to the controls and a bunch of other things. But I am a really big Metroid fan now. Like, I haven't played every game in the series, but I think I've played like every 2D game in the series pretty much. And, I've had a really good time with them. There are times that I need to look up a guide or two, maybe be like, okay, where am I supposed to go? Because I got like lost. But again, when it's like 1, 2, or 3 times that you're looking up, it's whatever. But when you're constantly having to look things up, it can get very, very frustrating. Recently, another Zelda game I played. What was it? I'm blanking out, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I remember. So I played Ocarina of Time. I remember not enjoying it too much. Maybe it's because it's just like older, and the control scheme was pretty weird, and how Nintendo decided to do controls on the Switch, I wasn't really a big fan of it. But also because I had to look up things all the time. And again, that says more about me than about the game, because a bunch of people like Zelda games, a bunch of people like that game. So I'm just the one dumbass that can't solve it. Another game that arguably, to me personally, was even worse is Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask is a great game. I know that it is. It's just like not for me. I hate the whole thing that like, oh, you have to reset time. There's this pressure with time. You'll lose progress. You have to do this again. I know there's a bunch of things they do. Like, you can slow down, speed up time. You could start the day over. You can store items so that way they stay with you even when like, you do have to reset the time. But I just personally wasn't a big fan of that mechanic. And having to solve like all these puzzles in a small amount of time, and constantly having to like reset this whole, I do like trial and error type stuff sometimes, but I just really wasn't a big fan of that. Another game I played was Breath of the Wild. And I'm sure really big Zelda fans will know whether or not the puzzles were harder or easier, but I personally found them easier. I had a better time completing puzzles. I did have to look up some of they're called temples, I think. It's been a bit since I played. I did have to look up things for some of the temples, but other than that, it was a pretty good time. I struggled on the Divine Beast sections. Sometimes I was like, how do I solve this? And I don't know why, yeah, but I was pretty bad at it. But other than that, it was pretty good time. Back to Minish Cap. most things I didn't have to look up, but there are a lot of things I did have to look up, so it did take away from the experience and get frustrating because I was like, wow, I've been trying this over and over and I still can't do what I'm trying to do. Anyways, the whole point of this video was I wanted to ask, does this happen to anyone else? Are you also bad at Zelda games and Zelda puzzles? Am I the only one that feels like this? Zelda is such a cool franchise and I'd love to get into it more, play other games. Maybe it's just because I haven't played enough Zelda games and I'm not used to it. I know with Metroid, as I played more, I was like, okay, I'm starting to understand how things are hidden and how things work. Is it because I haven't played enough? Am I just really bad at puzzles? Who knows? In the comments below, are you bad at Zelda games? Are you good at them? Are you good at the puzzle aspect? Do you find it annoying? Do you have games that you feel puzzles are easier? Let me know. And have a great day. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Open my eyes and see.
My mind feels like I don't know how to describe. Don't know who is I depersonalized, cause my mind is fried.